Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Howdy y'all, Red Laughlin here. We're on the Wise Ones on USA Global TV and Radio Network. When this is the middle show of 3 shows I do back to back to back every Thursday around noontime Houston time. And when I'm not doing TV shows, I research the human body at the cellular level, chemically speaking. I look for cause and effect relationships. I believe if you treat a cause, you fix a problem. If you treat symptoms, you'll never actually solve the problem, and the problem could get worse. I specialize in longevity and age-related diseases. That's what most of my information is about. Next hour, I'll be on a show called Talking Heads, and I'll be talking about dementia, its pathways, and options that you have that may be effective in treating those kinds of diseases associated with dementia. In June, I have a book I'm planning to release called Aging Sucks. I don't have a subtitle yet or a cover. I'm still working on those, but I am pretty much focusing on the hallmarks of disease, the hallmarks of health, and the pathways of disease. So that's kind of the focus that I have. I want to take it from the 30,000 foot level down to the 5,000, all the way down, so that when I have webinars coming up here in a month or two, I can take that grassroots level and say, okay, here's the problem, here's the cause, here's a treatment, but specifically, this is what you can be doing. So that's about me. Enough. So let's get to Russ Johns. Russ, please join me up here on stage, because I want to tell the people I've been to training sessions, all over military, academia, corporate, and I consider Russ to be literally the #1 trainer I have ever met in my life. When I evaluate it on the basis of what usable information did I get per minute, per hour, per whatever segment of time. I went there to learn something. Did I learn it? Could I put it in use? And the answer is yes. And Russ is the man who does it. So Russ, that is my assessment of you.
Yeah, so kind of you. So kind of you, Red. And I got off the training because 2 years ago I had a stroke, and the only thing I could do with my stroke, I have aphasia, and the only thing I could say was that's cool, even though it wasn't cool. But I applaud you for you doing your research in longevity and make sure that we can have a source of solutions for the core problem. So I applaud you, Red, and I wanted to make sure that I've known you for a long time. So it's nice to be able to meet and greet virtually, and you can read my origin story in Next Step Next, but it's trials and tragedy and getting up, going through the challenges, and we could do one wonderful things together. So kindness is cool and smiles are free. That you know me.
The world of training has so many different aspects of it, because you can, cake baking, decorating, dog grooming. I mean, training can encompass anything outside of what we think training. For me, physics, math, chemistry, that's training. But when I got in the world of being a business owner, I didn't know anything. All my training that I had, whether it was military or whatever, was all set up for the owner of the company, so to speak, whether it was a military or, Halliburton, or all my training was set up to make me operate better as an employee. But when I
Yeah.
finally got involved with me being my own boss and being a business owner, I had no idea what it took. And that's kind of where I bumped into you way back when, and we were networking around and doing this and various things. And for people networking, well, how do you do that? I mean, as an author, as a writer, I know very little. I'm learning, but I know very little about marketing. I know very little. If I knew editing, I wouldn't be, paying people to edit my books. I wouldn't be paying people to market my books. So there's a skill level involved in that, and getting to the baseline requires a lot of understanding, and not just of the words, but of the industry and of the context of the relationship between you and your customer, your client. And I was told that, when you have a solution, it's not, the solution is there, but not everybody needs that solution right now.
Yeah.
And I've used this thing a number of times when I speak. I said, what does it take to be a successful fisherman? And people tell me, the lure and the hook and the boat and this and the bait and everything, but it takes hungry fish. And if people don't know what bait you're chumming out there in the water, they're never going to come for you. So you tell them. At some point in time, they're going to become a hungry fish and they're going to find you. And that's kind of where I evaluate you. You have all this information that I want to use in order to tell my hungry fish I'm here. So that's kind of a roundabout way of saying you provide a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've been doing this for years, and I think the challenge with business owners, especially people that are using online activities to grow their business, it's not a simple task, just posting on social media or things. But I think the age of the online world is always changing, and you need to step forward and realize what you can do and what your goals are and what your mission is, and because you need to stay on top of it, because you have a problem and a solution. If you have a a customer has a problem, you need to listen and make sure that you understand the problem before you jump into the solution, because it's just like the medical field. You can pass through the problem and jump to the solution, just and not realize that the secondary problem, nobody wants your stuff, but so you can actually realize you need to listen, you need to pay attention, and all that kind of work that goes into it. So it's not just a social media posting, but there's a lot more into it.
Okay, you said at the beginning you had a stroke a while back, and suffering a little bit from aphasia, which is a kind of a minor, can be major, but a minor disconnect between the brain thoughts and the words coming out of the mouth. And so when you are talking, I understand. But when you're sitting there creating content, or you're creating a video, or you're marketing something, you're not speaking per se. So the brain is still operating the way it always has. It's just that little stroke punched in there and said, hey, wait. And now you're getting back to being a normal Russ again.
Yeah. It's still a challenge for me to type and write and articulate the communication. It's all in my head. It's like clear as day what I want to say. And so technology, yeah, I was blessed with doing technology so I can overcome the challenge of aphasia. And so speech to text and make sure that I'll have something all a roundabout way to communicate, custom cut and paste, and uh, just just it's resiliency. And when you're a business owner, you need to be resilient on your attitude and make positive moves and make sure that you the same situation exists on your business and your life and everything. It's a lifetime is of challenges, solutions, and going forward.
Let's take a situation. You have a person, maybe they worked in corporate for a while. Now they are finally out on their own. Uh, a lot of them will just jump into social media because they're probably had that in their private life. Now they want to have a business Facebook account or LinkedIn or whatever. So you're working with somebody that's new. What do you tell them about social media and what do you caution them about?
Yeah, I'm starting to build a series on that same subject, and I it all boils down to clarity. For years, I did research. I would like to learn everything, because I video, audio, words, images, and I did all of that. So just doing research, but I think it it boils down to clarity. You have to be clear on your goal, who you want to serve, how do you want to serve them, and have a solution to their issues or the challenges that are presented. You need to find out what you. It's like ikigai. You know who's serving you, who wants to purchase my material, and what you like to do, and what you're skilled at. So it's like, okay, uh, it's uh, it's a challenge to actually self-reflect on what you want to clarify, and but it's important to do that, and I think that's one of the things that people need to uh, look at before they jump in the business.
Okay, so you need to know really what your business is and how you are different than your competitors. You need
Yeah,
to know who your ideal client is and where they're at. Uh, and so now you have a solution for a problem that may or may not keep them up at night. But when it does keep them up at night, now they're looking for you.
yeah,
So that I think is kind of what you're talking about, clarity, the essence of what do I do? Am I a speaker? Am I a writer? Am I a salesman? Uh, and I think a lot of people have difficulty defining themselves because I know me, for instance, I have fingers in too many pies. And am I an author? Am I a speaker? Am I a TV host? Am I a researcher? Am I an author? I mean, I get, and
yeah.
where do you push back on the stuff that you have a passion for, but not necessarily it's in your business? And that's a problem I have.
Yeah, yeah. You and I are a lot alike because um, we also have several interests, and we want to make sure that you know we stay up on the latest trends on and make sure that we have the ability to research and adapt to the the trends that are happening now. So, uh, but essentially, we need to make sure that we have a solution that works for us. Social media organic reach is uh, limited because of the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. Paid ads are a way to do that. But if you have clarity of the solution that you're providing, people will find it, because the paid ads and the algorithm is pretty good right now to actually search the people that want to accomplish your solution or use your solution. But the other thing is, like, you don't have to make it so complicated, because you could, like, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, you started, doing books and things like that. People want to start, and you can help them regardless of where you're at in life. Because just you look at 2 years ago, you didn't know as much as you know now. So it's like, yeah.
COVID happened, and we were doing a certain deal, a lot of in-person meetings and training and whatever. And then all of a sudden that was put on hold for a while.
Yeah.
And what have you seen? Because it seems like to me, I see a lot of people are still in the pre-COVID world trying to run their business. Not a lot, but more than I think it should be.
Yeah.
I've seen some that transition over and are doing the same business, but differently. What has been your observation about people pre and post COVID as business owners?
Yeah, I think the main thing I've observed for a while is people want to do, they want to do their business, but because of COVID, they realize that there's a chance to minimize the networking, in-person networking, but and going, driving in Houston is like, a mess sometimes. But driving into Christtown or anything, they don't necessarily have to do that in the online world. And if you can actually adapt to the business to an online circumstances, and the technology is getting easier to do that. But the other caveat to that is community. So there's a lot to be said about the community, because people are still looking for, their tribe. It's like-minded people that are going the directions you're going still, because there's I think the mass market is doing more community minded things. You can see a lot of community and virtual meetings, but I have noticed that a lot. So, it's different now. So,
Okay, so we have a changeover from in-person to a digital world.
yeah,
We also have a transition, I think, from a text word in the digital world, blogs, social media, into more of a YouTube environment with the videos, reels, shorts, longs, whatever. And so, but I'm not seeing per se the author using, videos as part of his marketing campaign. I'm not seeing other business owners using video as much for their marketing campaign. Yes, they do appear on podcasts that are curated for video. We're on live streaming today, but it's amazing the number of people who come on a live stream show thinking it's a podcast, because that's all they've been programmed in the past. But before we get to the next topic, which I want to call AI, we're at that point in time where I need to take a commercial break. So
Yeah.
why don't we hold off for about a minute or so and have a commercial break, and we'll come back and let's talk about AI a little bit and how that can help people.
Perfect.
What if one simple skill could change the way you connect with the world? What if listening could open doors to deeper relationships, stronger businesses, and a better you? Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, the listening mentor, brings you USA Global TV and Radio, a space where voices are heard, ideas are shared, and global communities thrive. Through the elevated listeners' courses and books, you'll master the power of listening, set boundaries with confidence, and transform conversations into opportunities. Join us. Listen, learn, elevate. Whether you're a leader, a coach, a business owner, or someone seeking stronger connections, your journey starts today. Subscribe, learn, and transform today.
Brett O'Loughlin here. We're on the Wise Ones on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. My guest today is Russ Johns. Russ is a marketer's guru. Russ, please join me back up here on stage.
Yeah.
Just before the break, we talked about AI. I know that in your company, Next Step Next, you do a lot of things, live streaming and podcasting, but some of those things such as video marketing, content creation, web development, all those things can be enhanced with AI. What do you use in your company with regard to AI, and what have you found to be good or bad about it?
I'm a fan of AI, but I ventured into a lot of Grok, Claude, Chat GTP, and Perplexity, all of the, and I see the trend to use AI for some AI is better for, like Claude, I like to use for editing and like words, but I think there's a trend to actually use different AIs for different purposes, and it's not one size fits all. It's you have to realize that what you could do multiple things, but the trend I'm liking today is the things that agents can, you could do agents could be, because I use like paper form and stepper to actually deliver my emails, or create a form, and that's going to be create a spreadsheet along just seamlessly. So you can actually do a lot with them from just agency work or workflow, and automation is more seamless than it used to be. So but the trend is to automate a lot of this work relating to tasks that you normally have to manually do.
Well, I think you have to train your AI. It has to know who you are, what you represent, what you need, who your audience is. And so I have about a 2-page prompt that I use when I'm doing my research. And I tell people here on the show and on other ones that when you finally get to the answer that you want, you've asked it, you tweaked it, and ask it before you leave. I got here. What prompt should I have given you at the beginning in order to get here. Well, last night I'm working on some slides for something, and I'm constantly having to ask my guy, yeah, okay, fine. What about this? What about, you didn't tell me this part? And then he comes out and says, well, he gave me 3 reasons. I said, throw those away. I don't care about those. I said, I'll be the decider of what that is. And so I think I did 3 updates last night on my prompt to get to where I want to be able, where I don't have to ask it questions to get to the same level I want to be at. Now, I'm sure it's going to be there, but so I caution people, let them know as much as you can about you, who your client is, what their expectation, because that is the way it's going to serve you best. But if all of a sudden you don't want to, put a ripple in the water, AI will stop you from putting ripples in the water. But if you want to just have, foamy ocean out there because you're just out there agitating, it'll help you too. But you got, as you said earlier, the clarity. What are you really looking for? It's a tool. It's like spell checker. All it is a tool. Images, videos, whatever it may happen to be. Those things are just strictly a tool. But like any tool, if you don't use it right, it's like, what do they say? If every problem looks like a nail, the only tool you use is a hammer or something to that effect. You can hurt yourself pretty bad with a hammer if you're not using it right.
Yeah. It's interesting too, Red, that we can actually use it as a brainstorming session, and
absolutely.
Also a mentor that you could run things past, ask questions and then get answers and improve the outcome for you can actually use it that way. That's why I like to use it, is okay, just like a brainstorming session or editor, and so spell check my stuff, but as well my grammar, because of my stroke is like, okay, it's been a godsend to me, because speech to text is not ideally the ultimate way, but it gets me close enough that I can articulate my ideas and make sure that I have some clarity for my ideas. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I want to brainstorm. So it tells the AI, okay, fine, we're open for a lot of different ideas, and you go down this one for a while. Okay, fine, let's go. And so I find that, and mentoring, I don't know that much about marketing. I'm learning and learning and learning. So I'll ask some specific questions about this, and I find it very, very helpful. I use it almost as much as a training tool for me as I do when I go out and do research. I know in the old days, Google was the go-to. Now AI seems to be almost taking that job, the go-to, away. But YouTube, I find to be very valuable too for how to, just exceptional value. But here in the last year, I have found more information on Instagram. It's just like people are finally starting to realize that's a good platform to put information out there of value. And so, okay, I find something on Instagram. Okay, let me go over to YouTube, see what else is there. Okay, let me ask my AI about it. And I'm not even using Google unless I get involved in something and I don't want to go back there. Okay, just pop it up. Okay, what does this really mean? And go from there. It's a constant learning environment, and you have to keep your buddy, whatever perplexity, whichever one you're using, you have to keep them in the picture and up to date, because otherwise, they're not going to be your buddy. They're going to be giving you wrong information and you'll never know it.
Yeah. They're good. They're prone to get you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the accurate result, but it, like you said, is you go through the prompts, you get a mission and some guardrails and say, hey, okay, on this subject, I need to dig down and find the research that the subject could relate to, and then you can have an output. So the output is the realization that I have a specific goal in mind, and then you use the guardrails to get that mission accomplished.
And you can also ask it, why did you come up with this? Because they have to justify. And then that was what came up last night. Is, I did this. I don't want you to do that. I don't. I explained each one. I don't want that one because of this. I don't want this because that's my decision, not yours. You give me what is out there, and I'll make a decision what I want to tell my audience. And so we had a heart-to-heart talk last night between my AI and me. But we recently had a freezing weather here in Houston. And I knew I was going to be out of town for a while, and so I said, okay, tell me about the weather. Okay, that's not what I want to hear. I want to know about the MJO. I want to know what the NAO says. I know it's negative right now. We're in the null. I said, this is what I want to know. And so he finally starts getting on board. And now I'm starting to get something accurate. But before it was just following the stuff that's out there you can find on TV or just pop up a weather thing. But I wanted to know why that North Atlantic Oscillation and the Arctic Oscillation, both negative, and the MJOs in number 2. Why is that affecting Houston weather, and how much is it going to affect? And I can actually get some pretty good forecast now that I couldn't get before. But again, it's a training. It's like I'm looking for training, but I'm training my AI to know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and like I said, it will give you an answer. It might not be the best answer. It might not be the accurate answer, the actually accurate answer, but it's going to give you an answer. So you just need to use it as a tool and make sure that you can prompt it over and over. And like you said, give it some guardrails and make sure that you have a prompt that is accurate, and exclude the things you don't want to don't want to know and about it. But it's crazy to think of what is going to be a year from now. And it's like it's the race to get to AGI, and it's robotics and autonomous driving cars and all that kind of. It's all hooked up together for that. So it's crazy.
Okay, what does Next Step Next do, and how can you help people?
Next Step Next, I've been in existence for a number of years, since 2002, essentially. And then it's like I was live streamer. I live streamed for 600 episodes every day, weekday, and I learned the creative process, and so you could actually do live streaming. But as a result of my stroke, I did dub, automation, and live streaming and podcasting. I taught podcasting for a long time, and the like words, images, audio, and video is some of the things I need to work on. So like if you need help to clarify what you need to do, you can hire me to give you some advice to actually find out what your niche is, and make sure that you're doing the best. Make sure you can accelerate your learning curve.
I had a guy the other day who was on a mastermind or something. I can't remember, some networking group. And he was not necessarily poo-pooing websites, but he just was of the opinion that websites have less value today than they did maybe 5 or 10 years ago. And I thought about that. I'm not sure that I agree with him. When you talk websites in Next Step Next, what is your primary focus for the audience going to that website?
It's the primary focus of a website is, to be honest with you, it's a way to prove that you absolutely exist. If you don't have a website, I think it's a minor website. It doesn't mean be 20 pages long. It's just, but you can actually do a landing page and present your services and make sure that you have a way to get seen. You be seen, be heard, be notified, and it's way to actually announce to the world to actually you can actually be visible for and place contacts. But if you have you don't necessarily need a full blown website to do your stuff. You could actually, like the gentleman said, poo-pooing the website. For me, it's address that you can actually use to notify people that want to find you. So but you could do a lot of things with websites. It's so easy now to actually do email and do a landing page and do the just communicate with email. So it's a lot of people I know right now, it's just like Google page, a simple Google page, and then sell an offer in email. So it's like, it doesn't have to be complicated.
Sometimes it is complicated. I have my email at ray@laughlin.com, but I also have an email at Gmail, and I also have an email at another one or two. And some are so much easier to use than others. And so you kind of get in the habit, I'll use the easy one. And so, but we're getting toward the end of the show, and I want to make sure that people know how to get in touch with you, Russ. So tell us, what is your preferred way for people to reach you?
Yeah, the third way, just book a call with me and have a conversation. I have it on my website. You can actually russjohns.com, or you could use bookruss.com, and I have, you can get a hold of me, and it's just like I'm easy to announce and make sure that I can available, and I'm pretty flexible on the time of day, hours a day, and just like
Okay, so for our audio audience later on today, they'll be picking up this broadcast. Russ Johns, it's RussJohns.com, russjohns.com, and his business, Next Step Next, exactly how it sounds, no spaces, no hyphens, just 3 words, next, each other, nextstepnext.com. Russ, thank you so very much. I look forward to us getting together here shortly for lunch, and that's going to happen sooner than later. We keep talking about it, and it just doesn't happen, but it will happen, I guarantee you. So
thank you, Red. Appreciate it.
Okay, take care, Senor. Catch you later on. I'm wrapping up the Wise Ones here today on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. My next show is called Talking Heads. And I'm talking about Aging Sucks, and we're looking at dementia pathways and options. Dementia seems to be a topic that becomes more and more important as we get older. You get in your 50s and 60s and then 70s, and all of a sudden, why did I walk in this room? Where are my keys? The questions you used to ask in your 40s and 50s, not so often now, you're asking a lot more often. So I'd like to get into what causes some of these things, and what do we really have that can offset or correct some of them. So that's my plan here in about 20 minutes. So please join me on Talking Heads on the USA Global TV and Radio Network, and we'll catch you all again next week on the Corner Bookstore and the Wise Ones. Bye now. Bye.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradiosshop.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradiosshop.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA-Global-TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.